So if you guys have been following my channel for a little while, you guys know I don't like the whole day trading thing, day trading futures, day trading Forex, trying to scalp a few points on something for a few seconds or a few minutes. I don't like trading off of technical patterns, technical indicators, all the BS that the fake trading gurus promote. It's all lies. It's all bullshit. And so many people fall into this trap. So many people fall into this trap of thinking they can day trade futures. They can draw patterns on a chart, they can get the signal, and the signal just dictates whether they buy or sell, and it's just some kind of magic formula that as long as they do it, they're just going to win. And of course, that's just straight garbage. That's why I do options trading. If you actually want to be a successful long-term trader, taking reasonable amounts of risk but not crazy amounts of risk, if you want something that's rather safe, when you can go home, you can sleep at night because you're not worried about losing your entire account the way you're constantly worried about that if you're doing these very risky day trading scams, check out options trading. But today I came across this video, and this is one of the most heartbreaking videos I think I've ever seen. This is a YouTube video. It's titled, "I Tried Trading and It Ruined My Life." And this guy is an absolute emotional wreck because he's lost all his money and then some. He's actually in debt. He took out some loans to trade there at the end because he needed to recover some losses. And he'd been trying to day trade for 3 years and he had never been able to make it work. For 3 years, he thought he was going to make this work. And again, it's because some of these people just buy into the BS from the fake trading gurus that are going to teach them all these technical patterns and technical analysis. And, again, it's just all straight lies. I want to play some of this video for you guys. You guys really need to hear some of this.
All right, so as you saw in the last clip, that was me mentally breaking down. So in this video, I'm gonna give you one thing that I learned over 3 years of unprofitable trading that you must know to succeed. I also share you my story, how I ended up in this situation, and also show you the video where I'm mentally breaking down so I could really drive the point home. So I want to start off by saying that if you're going to trade and if you want to pursue this, you have to do one thing, and that one thing that I didn't do for 3 years caused me so much pain, and that is to have rules. You need to follow rules no matter what. Follow them no matter what. And the reason for that.
So again, a lot of the people that are failed traders that try this day trading thing that fail, they have so bought into the BS that they don't realize, like, this guy is already saying something that is completely false, that the reason he failed, the number one thing you need is rules. Well, rules are not going to make you a profitable trader. If you have the wrong set of rules, then it doesn't matter, right? It's not the rules that made him fail. It's the entire thing he was trying to do, this day trading. I don't know what he was day trading. It might have been future. It's probably like a prop trading firm where he's, trying to day trade futures, or maybe he was doing Forex. I don't know. But, those are not long-term winning strategies. You're almost guaranteed to fail. And typically when you're getting strategies off of YouTube, and I don't know that he necessarily bought courses from other YouTubers, it's, the fake trading gurus, the fraudsters, the scammers, because that's what 95% of the stuff on YouTube is. The people that do trading videos on YouTube, 95% of them are fakes, frauds. Most of them aren't even real traders. So, and you can see he's kind of ingrained. He's been programmed to buy into their bullshit because, they always talk about, hey, well, if you're failing at trading, it's because you didn't follow the rules. I gave you the right set of rules. You just didn't follow them. And he's kind of repeating what you would hear from the fake trading gurus. It's, the reason I failed over the last 3 years is I didn't stick to the rules. That's not why you failed. If you're failing after 3 years, the rules are probably not the problem. You've probably, 6 months of trading, you probably would have changed the rules, right? If they were bad rules, you would have done something about it. At this point, it's not the rules. It's your whole game plan. You have the whole thing you're trying to do. It's just not something that you have the capability of succeeding in.
It is not to make money. The rules are not there to make money. The rules are there to protect you from doing self-harm to yourself, mentally and financially. Because you got to understand, trading is gambling. You're risking money to potentially make money. You know, you're taking on risk every single day.
And this is another thing, depending on what you're trading is gambling. Not necessarily. There are some really safe ways to trade money that don't involve a ton of risk. Again, what he's doing is gambling. Now, day trading, if he said day trading is gambling, when we talk about day trading, we're talking about typically what people do with day trading futures, where you're in and out of things in just a few minutes and you're basing everything off of chart patterns, right? Here, or technical signals or whatever it is. It's all astrology. It's all, you know, tarot cards, right? It's all magic, right? You know, we're just magically going to get the signal. Yes, that is straight up gambling. You have absolutely no edge at all in that. Everything's a 50-50 coin flip. Right. And with 50-50 coin flips, all I do every day is just flip a bunch of coins, you know, a coin over and over and over again. Every now and then I'm going to come up with 10, 15, 20 heads in a row. In this case, 20 winners in a row. And I'm going to think, wow, I've really got this trading thing figured out. No, you didn't. You're just lucky. Every now and then, if you flip enough coins, you're going to get a string of a whole bunch of heads in a row, or a whole bunch of tails in a row, if we're talking about the losers as well. Again, I don't think he realizes this game he's playing, this 50-50 game. He needs to understand what the law of large numbers is, and he really needs to explore non-gambling types of trading. For example, some of the safer option strategies, things like I promote here.
But trading is not like any other gambling endeavor, you know. In trading, there's freedom. There's freedom to get in when you want, get out when you want. No one's forcing you to stay in trades, right? You can trade whenever you want. It's not like where in blackjack you get dealt a hand, or poker you get dealt a hand and be like, okay, you get dealt a bad hand and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I don't want to play because I got dealt a bad hand. Well, in trading, you can do that. You know, if you see you get into a trade and somehow you don't feel like it's a good trade, you can get out. No one's forcing you to stay in. It's also not like slots where you put in money and then you pull the lever and the max you can lose is the amount of money you put in. In trading, you could lose your whole account on one trade, right? It's the freedom. It's in the space of that freedom in trading that gives you the...
Yes, in trading, you can lose your whole account in one trade. He's absolutely right. If you are stupid enough to take that kind of risk, but you don't have to be. The same thing with the gambling analogy. He's talking about blackjack and slots, you know, poker or whatever gambling form of entertainment. Do you ever go and bet your entire life savings on a hand of blackjack? No. So why are you doing that when you're essentially gambling, doing this day trading thing? It wasn't like one was riskier than the other. It's just for one of them, you imagine that it's not quite as risky and you put more money up than you should have when it's exactly the same.
Biggest advantage, but also the greatest disadvantage, right? If you don't have any discipline, if you don't have rules, you could really mess yourself up. And like I said, trading is gambling, and if you don't control yourself, it can turn into an addiction, right? It's only 1 degree away from turning into a gambling addiction, because that's what happened to me.
Well, this is very important what he's talking about here. Yes, some people treat trading as gambling. And the problem with the whole day trading thing, where people are trying to day trade futures, you know, it's all about the excitement. It's all about, you know, taking the quick trade, and it's all about that dopamine rush of when you get the winners versus when you get the losers. And he's right. That form of trading that he's talking about, not the form of trading we do here with our safe kind of options trades. What he's talking about, that day trading thing, yes, that is straight up gambling. And you can become addicted to it, and you can start losing lots and lots of money. Same thing that people do with slot machines. Sit there and know they're losing money all day, but they're addicted to it. That's almost, it's part of their identity. They love the suffering. They love losing. You know, the losing becomes a part of them, and they don't want to give up that loser that has become. It's the same thing. This guy had gotten so used to losing, you know, he imagines himself to be a loser. He can't imagine ever giving up I guess the victim mentality of I'm a losing trader. And I'm not trying to make fun of this guy or belittle him in some way. There's some people are naturally like that, and you got to break free of that. If you're one of these people that have this kind of gambling addictive personality, if you're that kind of person, then you probably shouldn't be trying trading at all, but especially this kind of trading, this day trading, prop firm kind of trading. It's going to cause you to lose everything you have.
And so, like I said, the rules, you need to follow them. And they could be simple. They could be like, okay, I only take 3 to 5 trades a day, or I can only lose this amount of money in this day. And the rules should be based on extending your time in the market. That's what the rules should be based on, is having you stay in the market.
And this is another one of the things I hate about the whole day trading scam out there, is this idea that you can only lose so much money in a day. Do you also have a rule where you can only make so much money in a day? Like this, it doesn't make any sense to have these kind of arbitrary rules. When it comes to trading, is the opportunity there or isn't it? Are things in your favor or aren't they? Like when I do my options trades, is the probability of profit good? Is the IV rank good? Is my risk versus reward good? If I have a whole bunch of metrics that I'm looking at that tell me, hey, all signs point to go, I'm going to trade it, and I'm going to keep trading it, even if I get unlucky and lose some trades. As long as the metrics still tell me I need to be doing this thing, I'm going to keep doing it, because that's what you should be doing. The idea that you take a loss and then that loss is my max loss I can take for the day, now I just have to walk away from trading, that's stupid. That makes no sense. I don't understand how so many people have bought into that nonsense.
Long enough so that you can create a profitable strategy. When I started trading, I got fully blown addicted to trading. And at first, it was just half my paycheck, I could still pay my bills, and I would lose the paycheck, half my paycheck, in the stock market, and then, still struggle. I would struggle to eat and buy food and gas, but I would still make it through the month.
So this is one of the mistakes a lot of people make, and responsible content creators, responsible trading content creators should actually tell people that this is a young guy. I don't know what kind of job he was working, but young guys, he's not making a lot of money, and he says he was spending half his paycheck on trading. That's not what you should be doing when you're his age and you're thinking about being a trader, right? You should actually just save money. You should be saving half of your paycheck, putting it away, maybe putting it away in a trading account. That's fine. Putting it away in a trading account and maybe have it work for you before you start actively trading. Just start buying shares of SPY every month, or buying some T-bills every month, whatever it is you want, some reasonably safe investment, but you want to just start growing a trading account to where you have a sizable amount of money in an account before you start day trading or trading at all, options trading even. The problem with trading with a very small amount of money is you have to take so much risk when you have a small account. You have to take outsized risk, because you can't risk, 5% of your account on each trade, or 3% of your account on each trade. If you're only trading with, for example, $2,000, right? I can't make a trade and only risk $50 or whatever. Okay, well, if I win, what did I really make? I'm not making enough, right? If you're trying to grow an account. So a lot of people will take a small amount of money, like $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever it happens to be, and they have to risk it all, right? Because they have to try to double it. They have to grow that account in some way, and they want to grow it fast. So you actually are taking much more risk than you should be trying to trade with too small of amount of money. For the first couple of years, all you need to focus on is growing an account. Work a job, save money every month, every week, whatever it happens to be. Have an amount of money you're trying to put away every month or every week, and add it to a trading account. Start funding a trading account until it grows to something reasonable. For options trading, I tell people, start with 10 grand if you can. 10 grand is a pretty good amount to start with. Anything less than that is just too small. You're going to end up taking way too much risk on your trades, and you're going to end up in a situation where you blow up 2, 3, half a dozen accounts, because where if you would have just saved your money and instead of blowing up 6 different accounts that were $2,000 in size a piece each one, if you would have just saved up all of that 12 grand at one time and started with 12 grand in an account before you started trading, you would have done much better.
So in the beginning of this year, I was not in debt. I was free, had no debt at all. And so it went from at first risking half my paycheck, and then it went beyond to spending my whole paycheck. So now I'm falling behind on bills, and I'm spending my whole paycheck, losing it in the stock market.
So obviously there's some gambling addiction.
I felt like
here.
that was rock bottom for me. Losing my paycheck felt like rock bottom.
So, I mean, when he talks about it becoming a gambling addiction, obviously it's a serious gambling addiction. If he wouldn't have run into this problem, he would have ran into problems, I don't know, playing cards, playing dice, something else.
Eventually that became normalized. I would just do Uber on the weekends to pay my bills that I was falling behind. And it just became normal at that point to just lose a whole paycheck and just, be okay with it. And so when that became normal, it got even worse. It went to, now I was taking out loans. I was getting in debt to fund myself in the stock market.
Yeah, people sometimes ask this as well about taking out loans to trade. And I would just say this as a general rule: never take out a loan for trading. It's not something you should do. Now, in some circumstances, I think it could be the right thing to do if you get, say, a really low interest payment on a loan, and you do something safe with it, where you take out a loan and then just go and invest it into something like SPY, for example. I don't hate that kind of idea, but taking out a loan to actively trade, I hate that idea, especially actively trade in one of these gambling style plays like day trading futures. Like, that's, again, 50-50 coin flip. Why would you go take out a loan to flip a coin? You're either going to lose the whole thing or you're going to, I guess, double your money is what he's thinking. But in the end, that's not worth it. That is not a good trade-off. The risk versus reward on something like that is terrible.
And I'm taking out risky loans. I'm talking 80+ interest rate.
Oh my God.
I was sometimes taking out a loan.
Interest.
I remember taking out a loan that was 400% interest rate, So I think I was paying like almost half.
Wow, 400% interest. What is he going to, like Vinny the loan shark? Somebody in the neighborhood for this money? That is insane.
Within a week, and just interest alone. Yeah, I was taking out loans, and then it got even worse. I was calling friends and family for money. So it got even worse, and I was calling friends and family money. I started selling some of my stuff. Okay, so long story short, I went from having no debt to now owing being $14,000 in debt. Keep in mind, I work a minimum wage in California, so that's basically almost half my yearly salary right there. $14,000. I think I only make like $30,000 a year. 2 weeks ago, I had enough money in my account to cover all my debt. And in that day, I lost it all. And I was so much emotional pain. I was calling mental health institutes, friends and family, anyone I could call to relieve myself from the pain. I don't know if I told you this, but I also masturbate. I would masturbate every time I lose, or when I felt tense in the stock market, to kind of, relax myself. But obviously that habit got carried over, and at that point I was just masturbating every time I lost. And sometimes when I blew an account, I was masturbating like 20-30 times a day.
All right, so yeah, there's a lot going on here. Obviously, he talks about earlier he talked about it was like a gambling addiction. Now he's talking about masturbation being addiction. He talked about calling mental health professionals, mental health hotlines, and obviously he probably needs to talk to somebody as far as professional help, because there is some other problems here. This is not necessarily, when he talks about trading ruined his life, I will say that I think trading just happened to be a part of his life. I think he was going to run into some problems along the way, regardless of whether he found trading or not. There seems to be, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or anything, but just the whole story, the way this has progressed, he needs to talk to someone and really figure out, what's going on with him, because this is a very sad story, obviously.
Which I'm not proud of, but I had to, I didn't want to feel that pain. I didn't want to sit with reality, because it was really painful to know I could have covered all my debt and I lost it all. And it got to the point where I was really desperate and I was really going through it. That I don't want to say that I'm not super religious, but I was crying in tears. I'm asking God to give me one more shot, give me one more try in the stock market. Funny enough, the day after, I got in the market again, I got a loan, and I made money. I was making money, I made money again, and I make money. The next day I'm making money, and it got to the point where, God actually gave me a second chance. He blessed me, and I had enough money to cover all.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about here. If you're trading a strategy where you feel like you need to pray, you need to ask God to help you in your trading, then you basically are admitting that you have no control over the outcome of your trading at all, that everything's just luck, fate. It's all happenstance, right? And that's essentially what he's admitting here. So he's admitting that this trading thing is all luck. It's just the roll of the dice. He has no control over it, this day trading he's trying to do. So why are you doing it? If you don't have something that's repeatable, consistently repeatable, that you can just do over and over again, and you have a positive expectancy. For example, if you were a beginning options trader, I would say go sell put credit spreads every week in SPY, or go sell some naked puts in SPY if you got a big account. Whatever it happens, they're guaranteed to, as long as you manage your risk properly, you're guaranteed to make money. Guaranteed. You don't have to pray to the gods. I hope my short puts in SPY work out over time. They're going to work out. The problem is this day trading thing, again, you bought into this bullshit. And then one other point, he talks about, he started praying and then he started winning. He won 3, 4, 5 times in a row, or whatever it happens to be. Law of large numbers. Again, he's doing these coin flip trades, these day trades. They're 50-50 opportunities. Every now and then you're going to have a little run of good luck, right? He was just lucky that he had 4 or 5 of these coin flips in a row where he won. It wasn't anybody answering your prayers. He just needs to understand some of the basics of trading here.
Depth again, and yesterday I lost it all. So it was almost like I spit in God's face. He gave me a chance. He blessed.
You're not going to keep flipping a coin and come up heads every single time. Yeah, you got a few in a row, but then the tails were eventually going to start coming up. Again, he's talking about, I guess, God was on his side, and then God turned his back on him. That's, again, I'm not getting religious here, but he has to understand what he was doing here with these coin flips. All he was doing was flipping a coin. Eventually, you're going to get some tails.
Me, and I lost it all yesterday. Same scenario. I was calling up people, friends, family, anyone. I was in tears, crying. I feel like everything that's ever good that's happened to me has been God's fault, and everything that's bad that has happened has been my fault. And so that's why I'm making this video. Maybe my third chance is God's giving me a third chance, and that chance not making money. Maybe.
One thing I do want to mention here, he talks about everything that's good that's ever happened to him was God's doing, but everything that's bad that's ever happened to him was all his doing. I don't think he's giving himself enough credit, right? At the end of the day, we all rise on our strengths and fall on our own iniquities, right? Everything we do, it's all based on our failures and successes, right? He's trying to say, all of my successes, I had nothing to do. All my failures are my fault. Again, mentally, he's got some things he needs to work out here. He really needs to realize everything that happens to him in life is based on his actions, right? His successes, he should give himself credit for his successes, but obviously, yeah, you also need to give yourself credit for your failures as well.
Helping you avoid the pain that I went through, and hopefully you learned something from this video that could help you avoid all this and prevent you from going into this dark path.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fast forward the video a little bit. He recorded this video, but I guess he did a live stream when he first lost all of his money. It's a very devastating video, and he played a little clip of it here at the end, so I just wanted to get some of this in at the end.
Is telling people, making promises to people, and then losing all that money that was supposed to fulfill those promises. I mean, like, look at this. This is my mom. It's me.
And obviously it's heartbreaking watching a grown man cry. And obviously shows a picture of his mama. I'm assuming she probably loaned him some money. Part of why he's upset here. Looking at his laptop trading, trying to see what he's trading. I can't really see, it's kind of blurry, but just looking at the trading platform, very simple looking trading platform. It's probably some prop trading software or something. Again, he's probably day trading futures.
25, went to college, didn't get a job, kind of just
and the volume's kind of low. He's kind of mumbling here, but I'm gonna quit the video here. Here at the end, though, he does talk about it got to the point where he didn't want to live anymore. He says he wasn't suicidal, he wasn't thinking about hurting himself, but obviously just some absolutely devastating losses. Now, one thing I will say, when you're his age, he mentions, I think in the video, he mentions he was 25. 25 is very young. Way too young to be worried about losing all your money. If you lose all your money at the age of 25, you're fine. You literally have at least 4 decades, to work a job and save money and then eventually start acquiring some wealth. You've got plenty of time. If you go broke at 25, there is no reason to cry because you were barely starting the race anyway. It's like you just started the race, you took 3 steps and then you had to go back, right? It wasn't like you were already a couple miles into the race and had to go back, right? So at 25, this is no big deal. And even being in debt, he talks about taking out loans and now he owes $14,000. $14,000 of debt, quite frankly, is nothing. That's not a terribly large sum of money at all. He will be able to save money. If he was able to save money to trade, he probably gave the market more than 14 grand over the last, he said, 3 years of trading. I bet in the next 3 years, if he just saved money to pay off his debt, he would easily pay off that 14 grand in the next 3 years. Again, if he's able to not blow money on this day trading scam that he bought into. So I'm actually really glad that, this video, it's heartbreaking, but I'm glad this is a young guy. If this had been somebody that was, say, in their 50s or 60s or 70s that lost everything they had and plus went into debt trying to buy into the whole day trading scam that's being promoted out there on YouTube, this would be a much more devastating kind of video for us, the viewers, especially, for me. I'll speak for myself. It's still heartbreaking watching a young guy go through this, but again, he's so young, he's going to just be fine. Again, I think he's got some mental issues he needs to work out as part of the issues here, but I think in the long run, he's going to come through this on the other side just fine. He's going to look back probably years from now, look back on this and go, man, I really made some mistakes along the way, but I grew from that, and who knows, he may actually eventually find the right ways to either passively invest in a safe manner and acquire some wealth, grow some wealth, he may eventually find a better way to actively trade other than this day trading bullshit, right? He may discover, for example, the wonderful world of options. Now, if you want to learn more about options trading, and specifically my favorite option strategy, which is the wheel option strategy, check out my book, The Super Wheel Option Strategy, available on Amazon. You'll find a link to this book in the description below. Also, if you want to help support my work, subscribe to the DT Options Discord server. I hold a live 1-hour voice chat there each and every trading day. You guys get to see all the options trades I make. I share my trading platform with you guys live on screen. You get to see my opening trades, my closing trades. We get to chat about different topics, trading related. I get to learn from you guys. You guys hopefully get to learn from me. We have a nice little trading community over there, and we'd love to have you as well. Peace, guys.